Health officials now looking at 100 people in the Dallas area who may have had contact with Thomas Eric Duncan.
There could be additional cases who were already exposed. If that occurs, systems are in place so that they will not further spread Ebola.
As officials work to contain the spread of the virus, many are questioning, how did it get here? In Liberia, Duncan came into contact with an infected woman on September 15th. 4 days later, the 42-year-old was screened 3 times and showed no symptoms and was therefore permitted to board an airplane. But Liberian authorities now say Duncan lied about his Ebola exposure on a health questionnaire. He was asked if he cared for or came into contact with an Ebola patient, and he answered no. Duncan flew from Monrovia to Brussels, then boarded United Airlines Flight 951 en route to Washington, connecting to Flight 822 to Dallas. While the CDC maintains he was not contagious during his journey, United Airlines now voluntarily contacting passengers who flew on those flights. In Dallas, Duncan stayed in this apartment complex for days before feeling sick and seeking medical care, only to be sent home from the hospital with antibiotics, even after telling them he had just traveled from Africa. The hospital now admits they missed his travel history due to a workflow breakdown. Duncan was with his girlfriend Louise, her child, and her 2 nephews. Louise, speaking exclusively to CNN's Anderson Cooper, recalls her fear when the family needed to be quarantined.
They were going to be monitoring all of us. My son should stay home, my nephews, every one of us should stay home for 21 days. And we should not come outside. If we step outside, then they're going to take us to court. They don't have committed a crime.
Health officials say the family hasn't shown any symptoms of the disease. Late Thursday, a special team was deployed to clean the apartment and remove items Duncan used. But they were turned away because they lacked the proper permit to transport hazardous waste.
Did the CDC recommend that you clean your apartment?
I told them I just spray the Clorox on the mattresses on my bed, and I tie erect and dirty clothes in the plastic bag, all sealed up, and that's it.
How are you coping with this?
I'm just hanging in there, depending on God to save our lives.
I'll tell you, some of these details are just remarkable, and I imagine many of the people taking care of Mr. Duncan and his friends and family wish they could get some of these as a do-over. But nevertheless, the good news is that it sounds like Mr. Duncan is stable, and his family still, Michaela, has not shown any symptoms. They're going to continue to be monitored for a total of 21 days, Michaela.